Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? Good. Hi, my name is Corey Vulkins. Thank you for coming to Little Rock's 1 Million Cups. Hi, welcome. 1 Million Cups has been started by the Kauffman Foundation based out of Kansas City, Missouri. And it's the intention and mission of 1 Million Cups to get together, share 1 million cups, and listen to stories about entrepreneurs and established businesses of local communities and how they got their start, their story. And it's our mission as the community to get together, listen to that story, spread the news, and how can we help that entrepreneur, that business grow and be successful. Before we get started, I just want to do a little mini introduction. We have a 1 Million Cups app that's out there. If you're interested, please download the app. It's a free app, and what this app does, and you can find a community, there's a 1 Million Cups Little Rock community. And what that app does is allows us to track attendance at the events, right? So when you come in and you log in and you check in, what that allows us to know is if you were here, you can have access to who the presenter was or who the entrepreneur was, which is a fantastic ability. You can actually ask questions and provide feedback to that entrepreneur so that if you don't have a question after the presentation and you're thinking about something, it's an opportunity for you to engage with that entrepreneur, or maybe it's a connection. It's also an easy way to share that presentation to the community or to the lead. And that's very beneficial for us. It's starting to be more of a resource. So please download that app. It helps us, like I said, log in, check for that attendance, and grow our community of attendees. And also, we've got a board over here, and those that are engaged in social media, what we'd like to do throughout the session is promote each other. So if there is a wonderful quote, something that they've said that really strikes your fancy and you think you should share that with your followers, please look at Arkansas Brew House Connect at 1 Million Cups LR. You can see the listing of connections. I don't know if I see one for AR Brews Cruise. Is there an AR Brews Cruise social handle?
Yeah, Arkansas Brews Cruise. It's on Facebook.
It's down at the bottom.
All right, thank you. Down at the bottom. Arkansas Brews Cruise, make sure you're set up on that. And let's tag it and say amazing things about the presentation and learning about the local craft brews that have just blown up around here. All right, without further ado, we're going to start a little mini video that we're going to start at every session. And we'll get on with it.
1 Million Cups is a weekly educational program developed by the Kauffman Foundation. Over the years, we've added more cities. It's a great energy here to see what's happening across the country. What I've learned from other entrepreneurs is very, very valuable. Similarly, for the people that have ideas too, it helps me get to this. And you know what? My idea is worth something. It's worth pursuing. It's worth going after it. Even if it looks like a challenge, I should still go out and try to do it.
All right, let's get warmed up. It's Wednesday morning. Let's give a big round of applause for our AR Brews Cruise, everybody. Good morning. Thanks, Corey. No, you're welcome. I think I'll do it with that. You don't need this? Okay. Sure. And I think we are recording, so if you want to try to be in the middle. In the middle, there you go.
Hey guys, how are y'all this morning? Good. All right, let's try again. How are you guys doing this morning? Good. Good. All right, my name is Trey Moore, and I am the owner and operator of the Arkansas Brews Cruise. So first, what I'd like to do is just thank the Kauffman Foundation for setting up 1 Million Cups. Also like to thank Rock International and the Arkansas Innovation Hub for being able to house us here. It's a really unique opportunity, and I'm really happy to be a part of it. So the first thing I want to do is express that gratitude. Okay. Next thing I want to do is talk to you guys about Arkansas Brews Cruise. So first thing you might be wondering is, what is a Brews Cruise? Okay, so Brews Cruise was started in Asheville 10 years ago by a friend of mine named Mark Lyons. Educational craft beer tour that's structured in a way where you also have some tastings that come along with it. So he started in Asheville and he saw some success. He ended up moving out to Bend, Oregon, licensing his idea into Denver and to Bend and over a dozen cities. So if you go to brewscruise.com, you can kind of see where it is across the country. Now, Mark and I have been friends for about 10 years. This summer, I happened to be out in Asheville working another job that I work, and I read a newspaper article about how the Brews Cruise was celebrating 10 years. And I was like, you know what? There's a whole lot of craft beer in my home Little Rock, and somebody is going to do this. I know the guy that already does this. Why don't I do this? So I got to talking with Mark in July, and we put together the framework for Arkansas Brews Cruise. He came down, helped me negotiate with the different microbreweries in town. So now we've got the 9 breweries in town, plus Kent Walker Artisan Cheese, plus Rocktown Distillery as stops on our tour. So how does our tour work? What we do is we do public tours on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and we visit 3 breweries. At the first brewery, you're going to learn how beer is made. You're going to get a tour of the brew house, seeing the process from grain to glass. At the same time, we're going to give you 4 to 5 tasting samples so we can have a discussion about what the beer tastes like, what we're looking for, what is the art of tasting, which is one of those things that we like to teach on our tours. So that's a big part of what we do is exclusive tours, tasting, and then we give you dependable transportation to our next stop, where we'll do a style session. We'll talk about the difference between ales and lagers, what makes that, what the process is different between that, and then also the different subcategories in ales and subcategories in lagers. Our last stop is food pairing, an opportunity to get a bite to eat, as well as do one last tasting, one last brew house tour. You probably want to get some food on board at this point. So the nice thing about the Brews Cruise is it's not a booze cruise, right? The goal is not to get intoxicated, it's just a bonus. Okay? It's a fun and informative tour where you're going to learn a little bit about craft beer. You're going to learn about the artisans that live in our town. You're also going to stretch your palate a little bit. Maybe you're not an IPA person. Maybe you don't like sours. Maybe you don't feel like trying a beer out that costs $8, so you can just try one out on our tour in the smaller bite. So it's really fun. The breweries have really taken to it quite a bit. The people that have come on the tour have all given us 5-star reviews, so we really like that. The big thing we're struggling with now is just brand awareness. So we're trying to get our name out there. That's a big part of what this is about, what I'm doing here. So I appreciate you guys coming down to have a listen and everything. That's kind of it, you know. What we provide is transportation, tours, and tastings. So you'll always have dependable transportation. You'll always have exclusive behind-the-scenes tours at Brew House, giving you live brewery staff so you can actually make that connection with the different brewers in town, find your favorite local brewer, and you'll always get tasting samples as well. That's kind of the short pitch, but for me, I'm really more about question and answers, starting a discussion, starting a conversation. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to shoot one out. Yes, sir.
So are you a brewer?
I'm not. A friend of mine is a home brewer, and I've brewed a couple of batches with him, but I myself am not a brewer. My background is in tour guiding, so that's where I was able to, take my talents and apply it to this formula. Yes.
Do you do all the tours, or do you have other guys there?
Right now, I'm a one-man show, so I do all the tours, I do the website, I do outsource the reservation system, and I do outsource the credit card payments and that kind of thing. But the goal is to grow big enough to where I can train those folks to actually do some guiding for me, so I can run more than one tour a day. But right now, it's just me. We just started in October. This is brand new.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Are they co-marketing your tours through other breweries or the restaurants like Rebel Kettle and Fly Away and so on? Okay.
Yeah, so we have posters up in there. They also will share our stuff on social media, so that's part of the partnership that we have with those breweries. Is when I go in and talk to these guys, when I negotiate with them, the first thing that I let them know is we are doing this as a benefit to you. Arkansas Brews Cruise does not exist without Arkansas craft brewers, right? It just doesn't. It won't work. So we need them more than they need us. So the difference that we want to make for them is to take people from being purchasers and consumers of their brand to being connected promoters of their brand. And by giving exclusive tours and letting them taste things that maybe haven't made it to the tap room yet, it gives people that behind the scenes feel and that real tactile connection by saying, oh, I actually met John at Rebel Kettle. I actually shook the guy's hand and made this beer. So that's a great question. Okay.
So as a model across the country, seems like this would work really well in, you mentioned in Denver and some really big cities. So in a market. What is the goal
tours, tours as well, which we can do any other day. And that would be sustainable for me as an entrepreneur. I would also like to see expansion up into Fayetteville. That's also on the plan, but my main goal is to get it right here, because this is where I live. This is my hometown. So I'm not ready to move up to Fayetteville, even though maybe the market might seem a little more prime for it.
There's already a competitor up there.
Yeah, Hawkhead Tours, they do something a little bit different, which is fine. I think that competition grows the pie for everybody. You know, if I can have 100% of a pie that's this big, that's great. But if I can have 50% of a pie that's this big, I'd rather have that.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with another tour company being in town. I'm okay with them doing some things that we don't do.
Yeah, I would see private company or company functions like Christmas tours and things like that. Like, that'd be perfect. I mean,
Yeah.
Rather than just being a stuffy old thing, let's pile in a van and drink some beers.
Yeah, let's do it.
Is it okay? So, are you part of the regional chamber of commerce, and chambers of commerce, and things like that?
Yep, I've got connections with the convention visitors bureaus. I go to the North Little Rock Chamber of Commerce luncheon almost every month. But yeah, that's a big part of what our business is going to be. What I see it is corporate team buildings, family reunions, weddings. There's a lot of opportunity for private groups to go out and enjoy their Arkansas craft beers.
And what about? I'm sorry, I keep talking. Arkansas, the airport. Is it expensive to market in there, or getting something in there that really says, "Boom, welcome to Little Rock"? Oh, and by the way, we got a lot of great craft brews here.
So great question. I don't know how expensive it is to market in the airport. What I've been focusing on the past couple of months is just getting these flyers into every hotel in town. And talking to every concierge at the hotel, inviting them on a Brews cruise so that they have experience, so they can talk about it to anybody that walks past the desk. So what am I good at? Okay, I'm good at leading. I'm good at training. I'm good at leading great tours and giving a great experience. What am I not good at? I'm not great at marketing. I'm not great at social media SEO stuff. So I have outsourced that to Mass Enthusiasm. I'll start with them this week, and they're going to start running my social media campaigns. So there's a cost of doing business, and you need to understand what you do well and what would take me 2.5 years to learn on my own, right? And I mean, I don't have 2.5 years to run one tour a week. Just that doesn't make any sense to me. So if there's somebody out there that's a specialist that knows how to do that I feel good about after having conversations with different ad agencies, then that's what I'm going to go with. Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions about the Brews Cruise? How's the growth been? What's the response been so far since October? I know it's early, but
It's early. So it's challenging. I'll put it that way. What we've seen is we started with doing test tours, just free test tours. We saw really nice response from that. People were definitely stoked to go try 12 or 15 different beers for free. And after that, we went into paid tours, and we've seen a little bit of stagnation. And I think the struggle is nothing like this has existed before. So there's an education that needs to be done first. So what we're doing is we're trying to build social media presence. We're also trying to build on the people that have already been on the tour. Personal recommendations to me is the best form of marketing that we can get. If I go to you and I'm like, Corey, man, this tour was so much fun. You need to get your office together and do this. It's a great Christmas gift to the people, to the folks in your office, right? That's going to mean a lot more than you just scrolling past it on Facebook. To me, I get as many likes on Facebook or Instagram. That's great. It's just vanity. What the difference maker to me, the big metric to me, is butts in the seats. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
So how long does a tour usually take?
3 to 4 hours.
3 to 4 hours.
Typically right around 3.5 hours.
Can you take us through your path to get your first paying customer?
Let's see, first paying customers.
That you didn't know personally.
Well, most of them have been folks that either I know or know somebody that's a friend of mine. I got a couple of friends a deal where I gave them a coupon code that was their name basically, and said for every person that you book on a tour, I'll give you $5. And so I'm able to track how many people that they refer to me. Those people get $10 off by using that person's name. I pay them $5, but I get butts in the seats. So I get more people talking about it. So that's kind of my path to get people that I don't know currently. And then the next one is contracting this ad agency. Hopefully seeing a lot more inflows, at least so we can, if they can just get us the people, to the door, we can close the deal.
Yeah.
Because we provide a great service, right? That's the one thing that I do well. I know that I can provide a really unique experience, and definitely kind of open people's minds about the craft beer scene, and that it's not just like, you can drink for effect, right? We all do that. But craft beer is also about enjoying the experience, taste, to separate things in your palate, as well as find complementary food pairings or, contradictory food pairings that actually highlight the experience.
How come there isn't a weekend, like a Saturday tour? Is there a Saturday tour?
There is a Saturday.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, the downtown tour starts at 4 o'clock on Saturday.
Oh, I see. It says Saturday.
And we
Okay.
run Lost 40, Stone's Throw, and Dan Good Beers on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, we do offer private tours as well, so if you wanted to book a Saturday out for your own group and you were the first ones there, then you get it, right? That's the way it's set up right now. That's why there's a couple of tours on the calendar for a couple of days, but it's really just whoever books first is going to get that tour.
Any other questions to our crew?
For your downtown one, you had 6 listed, and you said you did 3 of them.
Yep.
And is it always the same 3?
Well, on Thursdays, we go to Rebel Kettle and Blue Canoe, and then we go to Movie Brews at Vino's. So the public tours, yeah, those are on schedule, right? The private tours, I tell you to pick your 4 favorites, and I'll try to arrange them, but I've got to work with the brewery schedules as well. And then we also have the upgrade of Kent Walker RCGs or Rocktown Distillery for private tours. One thing that I'm thinking about doing is maybe at noon on Saturday or noon on Sunday, doing like a Taste of the Town tour where we start at Rocktown, go to Kent Walker, and then end at a brewery that serves food. So that's another idea, but my big goal is okay, I need to do one thing, learn how to do it well first, before I start trying to expand and do, overstretch.
So how do you know when you get that point?
When I start seeing 8 to 10 people on all these public tours, yeah. When I start getting enough work where I need to train somebody to help me out.
Were some of these breweries doing their own tours?
They do. Some of them do
There
that.
are some started doing them when they had a bus there and they had people, sitting outside the paper tables out there and they were restaurants and they had their own transportation and everything. I don't know if you had a contract with it or you did in addition to what they do.
So this is in addition to what any brewer might do on their own. But the really neat thing is, like at Flyway, we were their very first tour ever. And when they saw the success of us coming into Flyway each Friday, they started running their own tours. It's just kind of a private event thing. So we almost trained them in how to do it. And they've really taken off with it. They've been a really strong partner for us.
I got a question, if you can answer this. So you partner with the breweries, then how does the brewery get a piece of
great
each seat, or do you get a piece? Like who gets the biggest piece of the
It
pie?
has to be sustainable, right?
Yeah.
I can't just walk into the breweries and be like, hey, I'm going to bring 10 to 12 people to your brewery. Just give us free beer and free tours, right?
Mhm.
So we've negotiated a per person cost so that they know when we come in, they're going to make this much money. It's worked into my costs, so I know when I go in, I can make this much money per person. So that's a really great question. It's one of the things that sets Brews Cruise apart from a lot of other tour companies that are maybe getting started that don't understand that it has to be a sustainable relationship, And that way, it gives me a level of accountability too, where I can say, hey, this needs to be this because this was in the negotiation. This is what we're paying for, right? So it's a benefit to me as well to be paying for it, so that I can kind of get what I paid for.
Mhm.
Good question.
So I want to follow up.
Yeah, let's do it.
So where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Great question. So this is one business that I do. Another one I do is called Golden Circle Guides. Started that 5 years ago with a friend of mine, and that's an outdoor adventure company. I've worked in professional guiding for about a decade, and I worked for a company called the Nantahala Outdoor Center as a whitewater kayak, canoe, and rafting guide. And I just recently got a job at the National Outdoor Leadership School as a whitewater rafting, kayak, and canoe instructor. So I teach like adjunct college courses for Knowles, and then I take people on really fun rafting trips for NOC. I work, like in a couple of weeks, I'm going to Mexico to help another friend of mine out who runs a company called Warm Whitewater. So I'll just be a contract guy for him on that trip. So I travel a lot, out of town a lot. I've got a 13-year-old daughter at home, right? So this is hopefully giving me a little stability here for the important high school years so that I'm around more, right? But what it's also doing is creating passive income for me when I'm out of town. So this year, getting it off the ground, hopefully being able to hire 1 or 2 people that can help me out. I'll probably only leave for 3 to 4 weeks at a time instead of my normal like 3 to 5 months at a time. So the goal is to get it in a sustainable level where I have a manager that's basically doing my job that I do now, and I can check in with them. I'd like to open one in Fayetteville. I've got right of first refusal on a couple of other towns in the region, like outside of the state. So if I can set the formula here, understand the expenses that are involved and everything, then I could grow it and kind of own Brews Cruise in the Mid-South. So that's, in 5 years, that's where I would like to be. In 5 years, that's when my license is up, right? So that's when I decide to renew or say, you know, okay, I need to try something else out. But ultimately, what my passion is, you know, I really like a big part about this. It's all about connection. For me, that's the ultimate #1 goal that human beings are kind of put on this earth for. Like, we don't accomplish things without some sort of community connection. You know, I'm an entrepreneur, right? I do this, right? I built this. This is mine, right? This is me. This is all me, right? No, it's not, right? I don't work for Wix. I didn't make my website, right? I don't work for Facebook. I didn't make my social media profile. I didn't build this building, right? I don't run the water lines. I don't run electricity. I don't put tires on my car, okay? So I understand that I function as part of a community, and this is part of the community. Like, Brews Cruise doesn't exist without the craft brewers. So how do I facilitate connection behind the scenes? Like, what am I doing in the back of my mind that I don't necessarily like tell everybody about? And it's a chapter in the new Knowles River Manual that I was asked to write. So I was really excited about it. So I'll let you guys know. And we call it Traveling Light. And it's something that I have been marinating on for a few years. And in my Knowles course, it kind of came to fruition as far as like, okay, there's 4 tenets. Here they are. And then one of my instructors was like, you know what, you should change one of them to this so that the word works. So Traveling Light, L-I-T-E. So L, what does L stand for? It stands for lessons learned. Okay, each day there should be some sort of lesson, right? We're gonna learn something new every day. That's one way to think about it. You can also teach something. You can be a mentor. You know, you don't always have to be the learner. You can be the teacher. And when you're the teacher, guess what? You learn a lot. You know, you don't really understand something until you can explain it to a 6-year-old. So moving on. I. What is I? I is intention set. Okay. A life without intention, no life at all. You can't accomplish a goal without first setting that goal. You know, you can't find a spot on a map without putting your finger there. So you have to set an intention. Sometimes the intention for the day is like, I'm gonna laze it up today. I'm gonna take a day off and I'm gonna be lazy, right? Sometimes the intention is, I'm gonna learn the difference between ales and lagers, or I'm gonna work on my website, make sure the booking flow is good. I'm going to do something today. I'm going to accomplish something. T, Thanksgiving, right? We just went through Thanksgiving. Gratitude makes a huge change in your attitude. So if you can find a way to be thankful, especially when challenges arise, you'll be a little more successful because you won't have this mental block that is telling you, I can't do this. I am not capable of this. Because when you tell yourself these things, those are also intentions that are going into your brain, and your brain feeds off intentions. So use positive intention for positive outcomes. If you're constantly like running through your head about how things are not going to work, you're setting negative intentions, and you're probably going to come up with negative outcomes. The last one is E. E is embrace the mystery. This one's about humility and the fact that I am but one small person among 7 million. There's no way I can know it all. Okay? And so I need to be excited about the opportunity to learn something new tomorrow that maybe I didn't get to learn today. And so that's what that embrace the mystery is about. So it's lessons learned, intention set, thanksgiving, and embrace the mystery. And this is the 4 tenets that I try to bring into most everything I do in my life, most every day of my life, in an effort to find connection on 3 different levels. The first connection is amongst a place. Like, so for me right now, it's North Rock, Arkansas. I'm trying to get grounded in this place, rooted. I was born here. I was born at Doctor's Hospital, and I was raised in Indian Hills on Geronimo Circle. So I'm pretty well rooted here. The next part that you connect to outside of place is going to be community, friends, family, co-workers, business acquaintances, community, okay? The different breweries in town, so that's how we're connecting to that. Ultimately, through that connection to place, through that connection to community, you find a connection to yourself. You really can learn about yourself and understand, like, you do have strengths, but you also have weaknesses. You need to learn how to play your strengths off of your weaknesses. Recognize, like, when maybe something isn't in your wheelhouse, find somebody who it is in their wheelhouse, because there's a lot of people out there.
That's right. Anything else, everybody? Fantastic. All right. So the last thing that we always do at the end of every 1 million cups is what can the community or us in this room do for you? So if you had 1 or 2 asks, start with your biggest one. What's one thing that we could do as a community to help you do?
The biggest thing that you do as a community to help me is give us a chance to come on a tour, right? Because once you come on a tour, we're going to be able to show you what we do. I can stand up here and talk about it all day long, but it's, I'm a big fan of learning through doing, and we like to create opportunities for self-expression and self-awareness. So maybe you're like me, and you're like, I didn't like an IPA until a friend of mine who was a brewer, put one in my hand and said, "Shut up and drink this," right? It's like, oh, it's too hot. But he finally said, well, this one you're going to like, right? He knew me well enough to know that I would like that beer. So I would say come on a tour would be my first biggest ask. My second biggest ask would be tell your friends and family, right? Personally recommend them. Understand, like, I'm going to be there. If you like me and you like kind of my philosophy and how I do things, then you're definitely going to get 4 solid hours of me on the tour.
Right. All right, everybody, let's give a hand for Arkansas Brews. The last thing, I'd like to thank again the Kaufman Foundation for allowing us to have this program and to have individuals such as yourself come and present. The Innovation Hub, the AR Innovation Hub, for sponsoring this location. Thank you, Aaron and team, for putting this together. And lastly, Mavis Coffee for that wonderful coffee that we get to enjoy on a cold day. So thanks, everybody. By the way, we are not going to have another session until January the 4th, right? So our next 1 million cups is Wednesday, January the 4th. We're going to take the holiday off. Thanks, Corey. Thanks. I didn't even know that you like awareness is always good. Yeah, I'm going to take some folks on because I'm always asking about people what I want to do. Exactly.
Well, if you use my name, CREY, I'm going to say your address and
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Scott.
So you said manager.
I don't know. You've been there? No, but my wife's not. And they do lots of stuff. Yeah, they set up the oh, okay, cool. Yeah. He does Scarborough. He does Oklahoma. Yeah.
While he's up on
Hey. I am.
That's how it started.
Well, I'm nervous
That
because
was my goal for something.
I'm trying to run these 2 businesses.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
the kids are going to be home.
We do a lot of that.
And you have an old enough one to watch the other ones?
Yeah, but he not even He could be. He could be. I know, 2 months, 15. Yeah, he could be. He could probably deal with a 5-year-old. 10-year-old would be like, I'm not listening.
Yeah, yeah, that one.
And
So, but are you moving? You're not moving yet. Are you gonna wait till January?
Well, he said he was going to give me the keys as soon as they were out. I think they're out, and he comes back Monday. So I'm hoping he'll give me the keys. And I just have them.
I mean, not to kind of, instead of
Worst
going
case
fresh.
scenario.
it's pretty old when I came.
Yeah,
But still.
that is still, yeah.
Either year,
Moving is just tough.
18, 19, fresh out of college.
Really
every
looking
year.
forward to it.
Yeah.
Late
This
50s.
time, yeah, so I can kind of clean up my life.
Yeah.
Why is that what I feel like I'm doing with this, since we have the party there, the people at Thanksgiving are sponsored every week. I have thrown so much stuff away. I have given so much stuff away. I'm like, you know what, we're not going to. Yeah, it's just stuff. It's just,
Boxes of it.
But it was your car.
oh my goodness. Don't open it. Yeah, don't open it. Don't even open. That's what there's like 3 boxes of toys, and I'm like, they're gonna miss them. You can donate them to Savers. Yeah.
Went after Rango for a couple of years. And then
I've never really been in there, but I know you can donate to
his last,
Savers. Hey, how's it going?
his last couple of years.
Yeah, you did. Well, I knew it was well. We only had. It's really cool too.
Yeah, he basically has his
But yeah, Savers. You know what they'll do? Like you can donate anytime.
3 sets of
They
skis.
take like like those McDonald's toys or little action figures. They put them in the book.
Yeah, but I'm not
People buy them. I know. 'Cause I have. We've been in there. We've donated clothes, and we always go in there. Like after we
He
donate,
usually goes soft and
and we just always find stuff.
Good idea. Yeah, let's go.
And you don't mind paying $3 for like 10 of them versus $10 for one of them.
He probably has. Yeah, I know he does. And, he goes all over there.
I know.
The places don't even open till 10:30 usually.
We're getting pizza.
Always getting convenience. Keep it local.
Yeah, I know. And then that's right there. Like, if you're trying to get here for lunch.
Hey!
Your presentation.
And so the whole time I'm like, texting back and forth. And we think you are because you make a decision to the series, right? So you know it's a franchise.
What does your shirt say?
My license his name.
I like that.
This is our little informational. And so we are kind of
Thank you, yeah.
I know. I'm like,
and having a ton of fun.
I was trying to get my family to wear pajamas.
All day.
That was camp, yeah.
I didn't have no pictures
I need to do the same thing. They do. I'm like, this is fun. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it was like.
This one was
Sorry, anyway.
Oh yeah, the pajamas. They were like, so I ended up buying them. I do
So
too.
what do you need from me?
But I found something that they do like.
Okay.
They want to pick up. So did you guys see last year Tim Newton was wearing this sweatshirt with a black Santa and so I found some of them. I don't know. My 5-year-old is kind of like, yeah, that's fair way. You know, she probably went around crazy. But and then my husband is like, this is better. But my 2 boys are like, yeah.
And then I was working at home on a computer.
We've never had. I know we've never really had thing in particular. So I was like, oh, I'm trying to finish it. And I just see all these pictures on Pinterest of these cute. And the pajamas and my parents house just makes me want
2 years later, and like all of my
Little families, and I'm like, it just makes me want to go.
and it's changed my life.
I was trying to make us look like it.
Yeah, you're like, oh my
like,
God.
I just have great.
Like the problem is it's me. The problem is my family. Yeah.
I know, that's not.
That's a lot of what I'm trying to do.
So that's for tactical knowledge. Were you gonna do all same pajamas or?
Yeah, I was.
Because in 2 years.
Yeah, man.
It was like,
I would totally do like plaid should be pretty easy for everyone.
yeah, so I saw plaid and I saw red and white stripes. And I'm like, this is
Give them the
Yeah.
words they need to do.
Yeah, and then you just, I'll see if I can get dancing styles.
yeah, it's all kind of,
Like,
No promote at all.
They were
Yeah,
like,
how does enterprise marketing?
and then I was like,
I understand that it's like a network.
actually, I just
my husband probably would have done it
So you guys,
if
to the people that are
if my two
members,
boys
they see a lot.
would say, okay.
You have to look cool too to his kids, like, if it's too much.
I mean,
Yeah.
it depends
I
on.
think he's just like whatever. I don't know.
So every month we
I don't know,
do
he
a
just goes.
social.
Yeah.
And so
Everybody else
just for example, we have like chocolate.
Yeah, yeah. And
Other
so,
than like if they're not doing it.
I think if I would have pressed the issue, he might have done it. But since they were like,
And so.
and then my
Really
15-year-old was
spirit,
like,
everyone's
you're
like,
probably gonna take post that on Facebook. No. I was like, might have.
Yes.
Well, it
There is a
doesn't
lot of
happen, it
visibility.
happens, it's not on Facebook.
And then next month, I think we
He was like, no.
Yeah.
And then the 10-year-old wants to be cool.
And all the jewelry.
Well, he's
He
not
knows
doing
not that job. And so we just kind of rotate, for, like you said, connection, just showing people.
I know.
Always.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, you like
Good
that?
food, and then they leave knowing that we have local ice cream. You know, a local person that makes, so if they might know personally ways to get